When it comes to manifesting, your potential is limitless. The amount of things that you can bring into your reality are absolutely infinite. And this is something that is crucial to remember and understand on a conceptual level so that you don't unintentionally limit yourself. I'm Georgia, and in this video we're going to be talking about the reasoning behind why what you can manifest is limitless and how you can make sure that you don't unintentionally limit yourself. So when we try to manifest, we often try and manifest from a limited state of consciousness, and this usually reflects our beliefs in a materialistic reality, and this can occur on an unconscious level. But because we've been living in a reality, at least in Western society, where we're told that the only reality is physical, we basically have been brought up with this materialistic worldview. We see the world as being governed by a set of rules, and so we often operate from this state of consciousness and find it very difficult to see how all these infinite potentials that we're not used to can come into our reality. So when we're manifesting from that, we're not manifesting from the perspective of our soul or our higher self, which is inherently unlimited. When we can become in alignment with that, that is when we embody this more expanded state of consciousness. Our soul, or our higher self, whatever you want to call it, because it's not restricted by this material plane, it can see that there is a potential for anything. And I'm not saying that you need to suddenly become enlightened or any of that to manifest. Really, you only need to understand it on a conceptual level so you can understand what to not do. And that's because this limited way of thinking often translates into our practice for manifesting. When we want to manifest a specific thing, we can often become fixated on a specific way that we want that thing to come to us. So we unintentionally limit ourselves because we think there are only a set number of ways that whatever we desire can come to us. So I'll give you an example. A lot of people try to manifest money or abundance. And what many people try and do, and it is very tempting to do, is to try and manifest winning the lottery. But this is a perfect example of us unintentionally limiting ourselves, because what we don't realise is that money can come to us in an infinite amount of ways. So when we focus on trying to manifest it coming from the lottery specifically, we are limiting ourselves to that one door. And obviously the chance of winning the lottery are very, very low. So you are limiting yourselves to an extremely low probability, making your manifestation a lot more difficult to come to you. But what we have to understand is that it's just one door to manifest that thing. If we focus on manifesting money through winning the lottery, we are unintentionally closing every other door, and there is an infinite amount of doors through which money can come to you. And if you think about this for a second, try and think about all the ways that money could come to you. Someone could unexpectedly give you money. You could find a case of money on the street. Someone that you didn't even know was related to you could have died and left you some money. You could get an unexpected raise. You could suddenly come across a job that is absolutely perfect for you and makes the perfect amount of money that you want. There are literally infinite possibilities for the ways in which money can come to you, and I feel like those are probably not the best examples. There's so many more that maybe you can think of yourself. Again, that's reflecting my limited ego, because I cannot perceive of every single way that money can come to me, but I know that there are infinite ways. And I feel like a good exercise for this to try and help expand your consciousness in this way is pay attention to all the different ways that people make their money. And what you'll soon come to realise is that there are so many ways that you have never even thought of that people are getting money to them. So I want to give you an example in my own life about how I almost unintentionally limited myself. And this was when I was trying to manifest getting to California. I was applying for university, and there was one university which had California on the year abroad programme. Now, I didn't want to go to this university, but I was very drawn and tempted to go there simply so that I could force myself to go into California. I was trying to force the outcome. I was only seeing that I could get there through that one door and closing off all other doors for me to get there. But thankfully I didn't do that. I went to the university that I wanted to go to, even though they didn't offer California on the year abroad programme. But nevertheless, I kept having the faith. I just knew it was going to happen. It was like the energy that I was putting out. And eventually what happened is my year abroad programme at my university suddenly offered California for the year that I was going to go. And I know that is very similar to trying to make it happen through the initial year abroad programme, but the point is I didn't close off all these other doors that it could come through by going to Sheffield and trying to force the outcome. I just kept having the faith, and eventually this other door opened for me, which was a much more perfect way for it to come to me. I hadn't shut off this other opportunity by trying to force an outcome. So basically what this all comes down to is When you're trying to manifest, you need to realize that it is completely irrelevant if you cannot even fathom at all how what you want could come to you. It literally does not matter. The how is not your job. The how is the job of the universe. The only thing that is your job is believing that you already have what you want, putting out the energy of already having your desire. If you can put that energy out and remain in that frequency, remain having that faith, then you will attract whatever it is to you in whatever way, and the amount of ways it could come are literally infinite. So the moral of the story is, don't let your doubts about the reality of what you're trying to manifest dissuade you from trying. It isn't that that's going to block you, it is your limited beliefs. So keep having the faith, keep believing that whatever you want is going to come to you, irrelevant of whether you can see a way, and eventually reality will rearrange itself so that your manifestation can be materialized.